Hi there, thanks for joining us tonight on TCM. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. For the next few hours, we'll be presenting a number of movies based on true crime stories. First, the powerful account of two ex-convicts who, during the course of a robbery in 1959, murdered 4 members of a Kansas family. Writer Truman Capote exhaustively researched the crime and then published a book about it, which was adapted into an equally tense film directed by Richard Brooks. Both the book and the movie share the same title, from Columbia Pictures in 1967, In Cold Blood. In his book, Capote unfolded the facts of the case with the stark realism of a documentary, and that's exactly how Brooks wanted to present the story on screen, to make the events look and feel as authentic as possible. Brooks made 3 untraditional choices for a Hollywood movie. First, he shot the picture in black and white. Remember, this was 1967. Second, Brooks took his cast and crew to the real locations of the crime, giving the movie an unmistakably documentary feel. The house in the movie is the Clutter family home where Herbert, Bonnie, Nancy, and Kenyon were murdered. Finally, Brooks stayed away from big stars in the casting. When the studio pushed for top box office draws like Paul Newman and Steve McQueen, Richard Brooks stood his ground, went instead with Robert Blake, famous as a child actor in the Our Gang shorts, but not as well known as an adult, and Scott Wilson, who had only one other movie to his credit, In the Heat of the Night, released just a few months before this film. Wilson has gone on to have a distinguished screen career as an excellent character actor. From 1967, also with John Forsythe and Jeff Corey, In Cold Blood. Truman Capote, who wrote the groundbreaking, best-selling book that inspired the film, was not allowed to participate in the production. Director Richard Brooks made the firm decision to keep Capote away from the set. Capote was asked to leave by Brooks. He wasn't even allowed to read the screenplay, which Brooks himself wrote. Brooks told Capote he couldn't work if Capote was always looking over his shoulder. So Capote had to trust the director, and for the most part, Capote approved of the film. In Cold Blood earned 4 Oscar nominations, including 2 for Richard Brooks's direction and his adapted screenplay. It also picked up nominations for Quincy Jones's score and Conrad Hall's cinematography. Up next, our evening of true crime continues with Sir Richard Attenborough starring as one of London's most notorious serial killers.